You better start today. Hoda and Jenna. Hoda and Jenna. It's the only way. Hoda and Jenna. Hoda and Jenna. They make you feel like everything's okay and put a smile up on your face. Let's celebrate. Hoda and Jenna.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday. It's the 18th. Wednesday. Wednesday. How are you?
Right in the middle of the week, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You had a very awesome day yesterday.
Oh, I did.
You got to hang with one of our favorites.
You know, I love, and we love Garton so much. We think she's got it. And when you meet her, you feel like you're almost, you know, she's like kind of a motherly figure.
Yes.
She hugs you. She makes you feel so good. She's an amazing person, but she has a new memoir out. And it's revealing that where she is now shows how much one can overcome in life. And she's quick to say, look, other people had difficult lives, but she spoke to me a lot about her upbringing and her relationship with her parents, which was, as she describes, often as frightening. I mean, she said she was terrified a lot of the time. And she also spoke about, and how she overcame that was pretty surprising to me. She said it was a very lonely, like in her room by herself kind of existence, which is where she felt safe. But the other thing that I found surprising was, you know, whenever we see her, we always ask her about Jeffrey, her husband, and they've been married for so many years, and you know,
and she has him on the show
all the time, and
she's making him a martini.
Yes. Yeah. And whenever you see them, people are always like, "Oh, Ina and Jeffrey # relationship goals."
Yes.
So she was trying to show you that not all relationships are exactly as they seem.
Yes.
So she describes what happened with her and her husband. This was after they'd been married for 10 years, knew one another, and then she said to him that she didn't know if it was going to work. So anyway, this is what she had to say. So you had to have a brave conversation with Jeffrey, the love of your life. What was the conversation?
Well, we took a walk on the beach, and I just said to him, I need to be on my own for a little while. What made it even harder is he said, if you feel like you need to be on your own, you need to be on your own.
Wow.
And he went back to Washington and didn't come back.
But you're like, wait, maybe I shouldn't have said that?
I felt I said the right thing, but it was really scary because I said it to somebody I really deeply loved.
And so for a period of time, they were not together. And I think it sounds like the root of what happened was he was used to a traditional wife role, and she was kind of coming into her own with the Barefoot Contessa and all that stuff. Creating her business and this thing, and she was pouring all of her, you know, stuff into it. And I think he was expecting what she was before, which was dinner's here, this is there, I'll take care of the house and all those things. And I think it reminded me, like listening to her, was when a couple grows, you have to let the other person grow too. You're not, you know, you've heard people say like, oh, you're not the girl I married. Well, the girl you married is different.
20 years later.
Here she is. And I think that's what they kind of reintroduced themselves to each other. And now they've got this rock solid, beautiful love story that was
it also shows that honesty, being completely transparent with yourself and with somebody else, even if it's terribly scary, because she, you know, she did say, I'm sure part of her wanted him to say, no, we got to work this out. You don't need to cook, but he was like, okay,
let's get, and I think that what you underscored there, it's like having a difficult conversation. Think about a conversation you want to have right now with somebody.
But you're scared.
It's on your heart. You feel like you really want to do it, but you're afraid to do it because you think, well, it'll go away, or it was just one problem, or sweep it under the rug. But having the conversation frees you. And it's just like, I know this is going to be hard, and I'm just going to say it.
And also, it's about owning your worth. She knew that she wanted something bigger than having the dinner on at 5. And that she was willing to stand up for herself.
And maybe lose him.
In order to make her dreams come true. And now look at her.
And by the way, in her book.
And them.
In her book, she starts with Jeffrey. That's her first chapter. And I said, why don't you start with your childhood? And she said, my life began with Jeffrey. So it just shows you what they're about and what they're all about. It's a beautiful relationship, and her book is really reveals a lot, and that'll be out.
And you're gonna have a full conversation.
Yeah,
with her.
October 1st.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Okay, now I want to cry. Well, speaking of love, y'all, it seems like the apps are kind of a thing of yesteryear.
Everyone's ditching them.
Yeah, because guess what? People are in for in Spain.
In Spain.
We're in Spain.
They're ditching it in Spain.
They want to meet people in the Mercado. The Mercado stores are packed every night between 7 and 8 with people looking for love.
So that is a grocery store, basically.
Yeah.
It's swarming. It's like a singles bar. Look at it.
Wait, are you kidding?
Look at that. Okay, so yeah, they say that there's a specific method that they use there at the Mercado to find your plus one. Take a look.
Single people that want to find their other half grab a pineapple. They put it upside down in their shopping cart. Once you have the pineapple, you head to the wine selection or the wine aisle. Once you get there, if you find someone that you like and they also have the pineapple upside down, you have to crash your shopping cart. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, people buy a pack of lentils because lentils last forever in your pantry. But if you're looking for a one-night stand type of thing, people buy lettuce because it goes bad quickly.
Okay, so if you want a long-term relationship, buy lentils because they last forever.
Yeah.
And if you want a one-night stand, get lettuce because it goes bad quickly.
Yes. Also, you have to crash your cart, which frankly
seemed
scared me.
aggressive
I screamed.
Yeah. If someone rammed you, that's not the kind of person.
No,
who
I
you
think
want.
gently
No.
ram. I think if you want
Tapping,
gently,
tap.
a gentle
A drive-by, a little,
just a gentle
like a-
kind of
yeah.
scrape. You know, that was okay. So now,
Miss, why don't I ask you? Okay, if you were shopping for someone and you were looking at a cart, what would you like to see in his cart that would make you go, oh?
I mean, maybe a little protein powder, some sort of red meat.
So you want red meat?
Some potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, something just
Hearty. What
now
else?
I wonder what some things mean. Like, for example, if you saw a man walking down with some Twinkies turned upside down,
What would that mean? I don't know.
turned sideways and horizontal, what would you think?
I don't know, but I would want someone that has like sweets in his cart, because you don't want someone who's so buttoned
No,
up
I know.
counting carbs.
No.
You want someone who is
That's right.
eating.
Maybe we take the protein
Take the
powder
protein
out
powder
and
out.
put some
Put-
frozen Snickers.
Yes. Yeah. If it was frozen Snickers and a steak
Frozen
and potatoes,
Snickers, we're in.
that's.
But
so
you know what?
good.
I feel like, because I actually just did a story about a running club, which is going to
Yeah.
air in the earlier hours. I feel like people are dying for connection.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nobody
that's a
wants
good-
to meet on the phone anymore.
No.
They want to meet ramming their carts with each
Yes.
other.
IRL. All right, Austin, we're coming for you.
I can't wait. I called all my girls to prepare them for you.
By the way, there are people on the plaza who I met who are going.
What?
Yeah, they came here and they were
I'm
like,
hearing
we're
from
going.
people every day, like, now can you and Hoda come by for a drink? I'm like,
All right, so last week we announced that we're going to Texas. We have 2 special shows, including our Making Space show. But this is what we're asking you for. This is big and it's important. So if you or you know somebody who has drastically changed their life, it's almost like someone who's discovered their authentic self, maybe someone who's repotted,
Yes.
pulled themselves up by the roots, repotted. Maybe they faced a lot of challenges. They had to pivot. We want to hear from you.
we want to hear from you all. So head to hodaandjenna.com. Tell us how you've been living your most meaningful life today. You could inspire a lot of people. And speaking of making space,
oh gosh,
I
our
can't wait for
favorite.
this.
Yeah, we got Jonathan Haidt on. He is the author of the Anxious Generation book, but he's also the guy who's spearheading the Let's Get Phones Out of School
Yes,
situation.
he's our guru.
He's amazing. So we're going to talk to him. Listen to that episode, and you can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you feel like you learned things from him?
Yes, more stuff.
More.
I didn't want him to leave. He was amazing.
He's also so scientific and calm.
Yes, it's a lot of science, so it's not like someone who's just
His
yelling.
opinion.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right, we got a great show for you today. Actress, comedian, and former SNL star Anna Gasteyer is here to tell us about her new musical comedy.
Plus, from the new movie Transformers, won Emmy, Tony, and Oscar-nominated actor Brian Tyree Henry.
But first, we're going to get all the celebrity scoop from our culture expert, Naz Perez, after this.
Okay, some of the biggest stars in Hollywood and music are making big headlines.
Pop culture expert and TV host Naz Perez is here with the scoop. Hey, girl.
Hi.
Okay.
Guys, someone ran into me at the grocery store with their cart, and I got annoyed.
What?
And unbeknownst to me, they were probably hitting on me.
Were they really?
You got
gosh.
go back to that grocery store.
Seriously.
All right,
Get
let's
that
talk
upside
about,
down pineapple.
Let's talk about Jen and Ben. I mean, what's happening here?
There's a lot happening. So, of course, they were seen this weekend together for the first time since the divorce news. So, for those that need reminding, Jen actually filed for divorce from Ben last month on their 2-year wedding anniversary of their Georgia wedding. And they were seen in LA having lunch together with their kids, seeming to suggest that things are pretty good between them, or reasonably fine, considering all the circumstances. But I do want to state that People magazine did report that despite this outing, they are moving forward with the divorce. We've, of course, reached out to Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez for comment and haven't heard back yet. But I got to say, people were shocked to see them together. I wasn't. They have so much history together. And Jen is actually in a movie called Unstoppable that comes out in December. Ben's a producer on it.
With
who? I don't know who she's starring in it with.
Okay.
But that's
Ben's
another movie that I wanted to tell you about.
But
Ben's a producer on it. And I'm like, they have so much business together, too. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Cool. I mean, I think that they do have, their kids, and they were all kind of intertwined.
And it's probably none of
why
our
not?
business.
Yeah,
Right?
but everyone can eat.
I know.
Eat.
Okay, let's talk Miley Cyrus. Everybody can eat.
Gotta eat.
Let's talk Miley Cyrus. There's some news here, too.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it hasn't been all flowers for our girl, Miley Cyrus. She is facing a copyright infringement lawsuit right now. So the suit is regarding her famous song, Flowers, Grammy Award-winning song. And it's basically accusing her and her songwriters for copying portions of Bruno Mars's song, When I Was Your Man. Now, I do want to clearly state that Bruno Mars is not named as a plaintiff in this suit. This is being brought forth by a group called Tempo Music Investments, who own a portion of the copyright of When I Was Your Man. And they're basically arguing that Miley's song duplicates melodic, harmonic, lyrical elements of his song, like specifically pointing to Bruno's part of the song that goes, I should have bought you flowers. No, I'm just kidding. I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. And then Miley's song goes, I can buy myself flowers and hold my own hand. She sings later on in the song. We've, of course, reached out to Bruno Mars and Miley Cyrus for comment and haven't heard
but
back
also,
yet.
I mean, if you look at the headlines just briefly, which is how a lot of
do.
people read the news, you would think that Bruno was suing her, and that is not the case.
Right.
So I sort of feel like
And also, the songs, to me, sort of sounds like an answer to that
his.
kind of song, which, it's like you can understand that it would be like, oh, I get it. It's like the antidote of that song.
Yeah.
Right, and hopefully after the lawsuit, we'll just find out if the guy should have bought you flowers or if you should just buy them on your own.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. We love Miley.
We love Miley.
No, love.
So
Love
I hope this doesn't put a damper on this
won't.
moment for her. This was a career-changing song for her. One of her
Don't
first
worry.
Grammy.
There's a new movie out there, and somebody tiptoed out of retirement for this.
Yes, so a new all-star cast is assembling for a film, and it is not an Avengers movie. So last month we learned that Gwyneth Paltrow is joining Timothée Chalamet in a movie called Marty Supreme from one of the directors of Uncut Gems, Josh Safdie. And this is exciting because Gwyneth hasn't been in a movie since Avengers Endgame in 2019. So everyone's saying that Timmy and Josh are kind of bringing her out of movie retirement for this. And the film is about a ping pong professional, and A24, the movie studio putting it on, posted this sort of mysterious photo of a table tennis ball to announce the project. But we got some more exciting cast news. So rapper Tyler, the Creator, is actually also going to be in this movie. This is going to be his feature film debut. He, of course, is no stranger to entertainment, guys. He won Best Rap Album at the Grammys before. He's headlined Coachella. He's also created and starred in shows for Adult Swim. But I'm excited because him and Timothée Chalamet are no strangers to each other. So Timothy's actually tweeted that he's been to one of Tyler, the Creator's concerts.
That is cool.
And Timothy has a line in one of his songs, Okra, or I'm sorry, Tyler has a line in one of his songs, Okra, about Timothy that goes, tell Tim Chalamet to come get at me. I feel like I'm spitting bars on the show this morning with all these lyrics.
I can't believe it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, maybe Timmy will collab on a rap song with him. I mean, we love seeing him rap on SNL.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm
Thank
super
you.
excited
That's
for
a
this
lot
movie.
of scoop.
Great job. Great job.
Yes.
Great job. Coming up
Thank you,
next,
guys.
the queen of comedy, Anna Gasteyer. She's going to tell us about her funny new project coming up after this. Great job. How do you We all know Anna Gasteyer from her 6 seasons on Saturday Night Live, making us laugh with her impersonations of Celine Dion, Martha Stewart, and Hillary Clinton, just to name a few.
And now she's taking the comedy throne on Broadway, playing a queen in the fairy tale musical Once Upon a Mattress. Anna, so every time you come, we laugh and we have fun.
And she has a new project every time.
I know.
And now you're playing the mean queen.
I'm playing the mean queen.
But a mean queen that I can relate with.
Yeah.
Well, I scream a lot, and we all scream at our children, so it's very accessible.
No, but it's also you don't want your son to get married.
I don't. It's so funny because especially on the Wednesday matinees when it's a lot of ladies who lunch, you really feel the people relating to my character of like, yeah, why would you want your son to marry one of these idiots? So it's The Princess and the Pea. It's based on it's Mary Rodgers' beautiful score. The sort of famous Broadway legacy family, the Richard Rodgers' daughter, Mary Rodgers, and it's so much fun. It's so joyful, and a ton of people. It's like a drama club favorite. Have done it in high school. In fact, your stage manager backstage was like, "Oh, I played Aggravated in high school." Amy
Did
Poehler.
you?
I didn't do it in high school, but Poehler played Winifred, and my friend Rachel Dratch played Larkin. Like everybody's done it at like camp and high school. So you have a lot of people in the audience who have a personal relationship to it, but you also have a lot of little kids for whom it's their first show, which is really fun and joyful.
This brought you back to Broadway because you said it's been what?
It's been 14
years since you've done Broadway.
Yeah.
So was it because this was the right project and it was time, or?
Yeah, it was a combination for sure. I was ready for the routine. I love singing every day. My youngest is 16, so he can, get himself a yogurt in the morning and as needed. And I've done a lot of musical. I have my jazz act, which I've done here actually, and I've done the live television, Grease Live, and Christmas Story Live, and I did Annie at the Hollywood Bowl. But this was the routine of the 8 a week. I was really looking forward to getting back.
And how is it?
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm really having the most incredible time. There's this, especially with a musical comedy where you're laughing every day. I looked at this cast and I knew a lot of the people and I knew they were fun and I knew it would be like a family environment every day in a fun way, sort of a work family. Yeah. And it's played out exactly as I'd hoped. It's kind of like, I don't know, going to jazzercise every day.
Well, it's choosing joy.
It's choosing joy, and it's a joy-forward show. It is not cynical. It was written in 1959. It was updated. Amy Sherman Palladino helped update the book a little bit and make it a little sassier for modern days. But it's Sutton Foster, who's a great Broadway star, and Michael Urie, who is a joy. So it's a lot of fun. And hearing a full orchestra every day, you feel like you're, in line for like a Disney ride.
Yeah.
You were talking about a couple minutes ago, like how you liked watching the Olympics, and it made me think of Celine Dion. And you posted recently a throwback of you and Celine Dion when you played her, when you did impersonations of her.
So it's so crazy how the internet has changed everything. Even when I was on SNL, we didn't have cell phones. Nobody was taking pictures. Somebody called me on a landline and said, for her first Madison Square Garden appearance, hey, will you come? Celine wants you to appear as Celine, because I did Celine on Saturday Night Live. So I just found somebody posted that picture on Facebook. I found it, and I'm so impressed by what she's persevered through and getting ready for her comeback, and I just love her. So I was so excited.
You went. That's at Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Back up. What happened that day? Yeah, what'd you do?
I don't even, you know what, Hoda, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
It was a blackout. I showed up at Madison Square. I was dressed as she was. Yeah. I did it was like a joke where she snuck up on me. Like I came in and started singing and pretending to be her. She snuck up on you. And I didn't even know that somebody took a picture of that. But that's why I had like her exact costume.
Outfit on.
She had a, like all self-respecting divas, she had a breakaway skirt. For the right number. And so this was after the breakaway skirt with a really giant cummerbund. So it was a lady tux.
Oh my God, how cool!
So I was wearing my lady tux, and she was so gracious about it, like just so loved being loved. She thought it was like an honor, which it was, and there she still is all these years later. I'm going to try to go see her in Vegas. I think she's incredible.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah. We got to talk about you and the holidays, even though it's only September and we're not trying to rush.
But we got to announce our Christmas.
It's the sugar and booze.
Got to start decorating.
Tell us what's happening. We've been wondering.
Well, I'm going to be doing Once Upon a Mattress out in Los Angeles for the holidays, which I'm really looking forward to. It's the first time Sutton Foster's been in Los Angeles, so it's really cool to be doing that at the Amundsen. But I do have time for a quick Sugar and Booze tour through the Midwest, and I'm going to be performing in Los Angeles as well, one night only. So I'm really, really excited to sing, of course, my holiday, my collection of seasonal secular favorites, as you know I like to call it.
By the way, you're such a worker. I mean, you're doing 8 shows a week on Broadway. You're going out to the West Coast with Sutton Foster,
and in between,
and you have a 1
And during that, you're filling.
But I've got to hit my favorite cities, which are Indianapolis, East Lansing, and Chicago.
But
got 'em,
also,
girl.
the Sugar and Booze tour is so much fun.
You're so good.
You know what? It brings me great joy, just as the holidays do. And I think we were just talking about this off camera, but everybody's sort of in search of joy right now, which is the common thread between Once Upon a Mattress and Sugar and Booze. Like, I just want fun. I want to help people escape for a few minutes and have a good time and feel connected to
laugh,
other people.
and do that constantly.
Anna,
we
thank
love you, Anna.
Thank you so much. You can catch Once Upon a Mattress right here in New York through November 30th, and then as she said with Sutton Foster in Los Angeles through January the 5th. Anna, thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Coming up next, another star of the stage and screen, Brian Tyree Henry. He's going to give us a sneak peek of his new movie with Chris Hemsworth right after this. Brian's upstairs. Brian from theater.
Brian Tyree Henry is an Oscar, Tony, and Emmy-nominated star who we know from TV shows like Atlanta and movies like The Bullet Train and Causeway.
Yeah, now he's voicing the part of Megatron in the new animated movie that my son is dying to see, Transformers 1. Take a look.
I can't believe we get to watch from the starting line. The best seats in the house. Why'd you bring jetpacks?
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
Oh, no.
And they're off! Are you crazy? Sure feels like it.
Oh,
welcome.
We are so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Now you're playing the villain? What's happening here?
Well, we're picking up where he's not the villain yet.
Not yet.
We're going back. Transformers 1 is the origin story of who they were. So it's Orion Pax and D16. So we see them as their younger selves. So he hasn't fully merged into villain. Yet. He hasn't emerged in his villain era.
But were you a Transformer? I mean, I like Transformers.
Of course.
Having a son has taught me that Transformers beat everything.
Yeah, Transformers, you know, like, remember, you know, it's the early 80s, so, like, this franchise is over 40 years old. So I remember getting up, the ritual of getting up Saturday morning, going to the television, pressing your face against the glass, turning the volume up, eating your sugary cereal, and then going outside playing with the toys of the cartoons you just watched, and Transformers was definitely one of them.
So when they called and they were like, we want you to play this guy.
It was an immediate, yes. It was like, and especially to play Megatron, I was like, oh, this is great. And to see a part of Megatron that we hadn't seen before, it was like,
do we understand him a little more? Does he?
My goal is that people will leave this theater absolutely understanding Megatron and actually questioning whether or not they want to follow this. Decepticons. You know what I mean?
As a bonus, you became friends with Chris Hemsworth.
Is it a bonus?
I already like your friendship.
No, I truly love this fool. It's like, because I was like, we're both idiots. So it's like my idiot sees his idiot, and you know, and we just got really, because you know when you do voiceovers, more often you're not together. So like he was in Australia in his living room having the luxury to do it while I was like all over the place doing in different booths. But like once we met each other on the press tour, it was like an immediate connection.
And y'all met, one of the places y'all hung was Australia.
Yeah, his stomping ground.
He's the president of Australia.
Not just the president, he is a god in Australia. You better not say anything about any Hemsworths on any corner because you might not return.
Now, did he show you around and take you to his...
We were so steeped in press, and he's offered invitations for me to come and hang out with him, but I'm so terrified. I don't know if my insurance plan is strong enough to hang out with the Hemsworth. You know, he likes to jump off rocks and surf and fight sharks, and I'm like, I don't know, but I love it. I will take you up on it one day, Chris. I just need to get a better
I mean, your circle is pretty crazy. Brad Pitt is in your orbit, too. I mean, you've got a cool circle.
They're not bad. They're not bad. I like to feel like I elevate them a little bit and give them a little street cred, but they're all wonderful. They're actors that I adore, and that's been the craziest part about this career is that I've been able to work with a lot of the people that I've actually admired.
Your trajectory to get here is amazing. You went to Morehouse.
I did.
You were graduating. Your sisters are in security, and that was the industry you're going to go in.
Yeah, I was.
And you had one industry one mentor that said to you, hold on, like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I had quite a few mentors in my theater department at Morehouse who were very adamant that this is what I was supposed to do. And they believed it so much that when I told them that I was going to graduate and do security, they slapped me in the face.
Literally?
Yeah, literally. So I was like, oh, this is where slap some sense into you comes from, because they were like, what do you mean? Like, so they were like, you should audition for schools like Yale, and I did, and I got in, and you know, I owe them such a huge amount of gratitude because I wouldn't be here without them.
That leads us to the Oscar buzz that we're getting for this called The Fire Inside.
Yeah.
First of all, can we just talk about the word Oscar buzz? Just to see
It's so crazy.
To see that written.
I know.
mean, from that kid who almost didn't go into acting
Yeah, truly.
to this guy who's getting Oscar buzz.
I know.
Tell me what that ride's felt like.
It really reflects a lot on my peers, because it feels like what I'm doing is being received by my peers in such a wonderful way that they believe I deserve that kind of adulation and those kind of regards. So I'm always very humbled and very honored whenever that comes around. You know, I don't usually take projects going, I wonder if this is going to give me this. I just want to, you know, pick the characters that, you know, broaden me a little bit. And so to know that this character is reflecting with people, and this movie is reflecting with people. I also got an opportunity to work with some wonderful, you know, creatives like Ryan Destiny, who's the star of the movie, is such an amazing actress, an amazing person. She paid me to say that. And then we're also working with Rachel Morrison, her directorial debut. So, and also to tell this story about Clarissa Shields, you know, the first two-time gold medalist black female boxer. I mean, like, she did it at 17 years old. Like, we deserve to know that story. And so that's what I love about what we do. We get to make these films and we get to make these shows that actually reflect lives back to other people who needed to see them. So that's what I like.
It feels like you're a true storyteller. Yeah. And like you're living, like this is
if you ask my sisters, they're like, we can't get even shut up. Is the problem. So yeah, no, I do love that. I mean, like, what we get to do is like bend the imagination. You know, I like to broaden people's imaginations about what they think I can be, who I can be. And I always feel like the characters I play are reflections of people who need to see themselves sometimes, because they're not always represented.
Yeah, I like that. And I also think you should do more comedy. Your timing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Would you?
I would happily. I love comedy.
I think you got that too.
The other thing is, you know what you're doing that had me a little jealous?
What's that?
Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, I am Smokey the Bear.
You are Smokey the Bear.
The part I was born to play, I think. Like,
so you're voicing that in the new PSAs?
I am, yeah. Also a dream. I'm just like, really? You guys want me to tell people to prevent forest fires? Totally fine.
I'll do it all day long.
I'll happily do it. I'm not gonna go camping, but like, I will happily tell them that. It's been a dream, yeah.
But it's right, like as an 80s kid,
I know.
He was an icon.
He absolutely was. Still is. 80 years. 80 years later.
80 years of Smokey.
And also, Anna Gasteyer loves you. She screamed when she saw you on the screen.
And now we get why.
And we totally did.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Like, I love her so much. Like, we go back, my theater roots are, you know, here in New York, and we did workshops together. And I mean, I think I was by her side every day. Like, we went to lunch together, and just like.
She was like, where is he? Why didn't he say
I know, I didn't even know. I was like, I came up and was like, oh my God, Anna's here. So, Anna, I love you. You're amazing. Keep doing your thing.
Wow, Brian,
we love you.
I love you guys.
You're amazing. You keep doing your thing.
Transformers 1, y'all. Hit theaters Friday. I know what I'll be doing this weekend. Hal Hager, get ready.
Get ready. Coming up next, he's a Country Music Award nominee for New Artist of the Year. Get ready for a performance by Mitchell Tenpenny. Coming up after this.
Mitchell Tenpenny. We are back with country artist Mitchell Tenpenny, who just treated us to his song Not Today off his brand new album, The Third.
We love it, Mitchell. We love it.
Thank you, guys.
You know what I love? This is your third album, but this is the year that you got your CMA nomination for Best New Artist.
Yes.
How did it feel, first of all, to get that? And sometimes it just takes time to be seen, right?
Yeah, I mean, they call Nashville a 10-year town, and, you know, 10-year overnight success, I guess. But we're honored just to be recognized by our peers, and such an awesome surprise to wake up to a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
Did you think that would happen? I mean, after you put out one album and then the second album, why this one?
I don't know. You keep focusing, you keep pushing forward, and every now and then you get those good calls, truly. And I remember getting the text that morning and just got a congratulations text, and I didn't know they were coming out that day or anything. I was texting my manager. I'm like, what are they congratulating us for?
Yeah, what do we get?
Got on Instagram and stuff, and it was like, oh wow, this is what an awesome surprise.
Wow.
And this album may be your most personal. Tell us about the
Absolutely.
significance of The Third.
Yeah, so I'm the third. My name's James Mitchell Tenpenny the third, and I'm proud of where I come from. My dad, we were kind of talking off camera about, you know, never pushing your kids to do anything, just let them kind of find their own, and especially a musician. I have a lot of friends that moved to town and their parents were like, don't be a musician.
Yeah.
But I never had that, and unfortunately I lost my father to cancer, but he was always letting me try things and taking me to shows even when I was doing all different kinds of genres. So I wanted to pay homage to him and my granddad for giving me that name and say thank you. And it worked out being the third record as well. So.
And your grandma was also just very significant in your trajectory, wasn't she?
She was amazing, was such a powerful woman and force in Nashville, and to watch her, what she did. She ran Sony Publishing for about 30 years in Nashville, so signed so many great songwriters, and just was a force that I got to grow up with, watching, and inspired by for sure, and wanted to be a part of that in whatever way I could.
And one of the music videos for the third, you actually visit your grandfather and your father's grave sites. I mean, it's really beautiful, and I think for anybody that has lost somebody, and many people have, that must have been hard in some ways.
Yeah, I was a little nervous at first. I didn't know how the whole go to the grave site would be, but I wanted people to feel it. I wanted it to be emotional, and that was the whole point of writing this song. And in true fashion, when we got there, I was like, let's just do one take. I want to be respectful. And right in the middle of the take, it starts raining, which was just perfect, too. It was like, I see you, you see me.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Who was the first person who recognized your talent, who knew that this could be something more than a hobby?
I got to give it up to a guy named Matt Swanson and Jennifer Johnson, who we started a record label with called Riser House Records, and kind of started putting out music, just kind of testing the waters, see what happened, and ended up joint venturing with Sony Columbia later after that. And so they were the first people that kind of let me do what I wanted to do, and to just see what happened with it.
Were you in chorus in school, stuff like that, when you were a little kid?
I was. I mean, we had the mandatory one when I was in like 5th and 6th grade.
When you had to do it.
But I was playing sports. I thought I was going to do sports as well back in the day. The doctor said I was going to be 6'2". He lied. I'm 5'9", 5'10", hopefully on a good day. But I was always in bands. I always loved music, and I was always around it. And in Nashville, you just take the opportunities that are given to you. And we just kept playing songs. I was writing songs, and you never know who's in the room and what you're doing. It's kind of being naive, you know.
Well, and your story proves you never know when your time is coming, and your time has come. We're so proud of you.
Thank you, Mitchell, for coming to sing for us. Mitchell Tenpenny's new album, it's called The Third. It's out this Friday. Tickets for his Woke Up in a Dream tour, that's a great,
I love it.
Great name, are on sale right now.
We'll be looking for you. We'll be back right after this. Thank you, Mitchell and Dream.
So good. Tomorrow, Stephen Colbert and his wife are going to tell us about a new cookbook.
Oh, I can't wait. Plus, actress and TV host Laverne Cox drops by.
Plus, the hottest music with radio host Zane Lowe.
Oh, I love that. Okay, y'all, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll see y'all then. Okay, bye.